folks, Bridges here. Quick video. I'm going to show you once again how to take your model from Fusion to bring it into the slicing software to slice it and to prepare it and put it on the 3D printer. So let's check it out. Hopefully you're seeing my Ultimaker Cura screen. If you don't know where to find that, you could always search in your search menu and just type in Cura Cura. There it is. It's an open source app that does a pretty good job of slicing your model into thin layers. If you don't see Creality Ender 3 here in this first box, you're going to want to go to Add Printer. Okay. You can also get there by going to Settings, Printer, and you want to select that if you have it. If you don't, you're going to add Printer. So I'm going to go ahead and add Printer. When you click Add Printer, we're going to choose a non-Ultimaker printer, and we're going to go add a non-networked printer right there. The name of the maker of ours is Creality, so we'll unexpand. So we'll close this Ultimaker, and then we'll scroll down to the C's and A, B, C. Went too fast. C, and we're on Creality 3D, and then we want to scroll down until we find about halfway down the C Crealities right here. Ender 3 / Ender 3 V2. That second one is the one we have, and we'll say Add. Okay, and I'm not going to click Add because I've already got it. Now we should see our 3D printer here, and that gives us the build volume and the build plate. At this point, I'm just going to click on my Open, and I'm going to bring in my individual STL files. You can see I've got each STL file for my assembly saved individually. That's a big part of it. So I'll bring in the front wheel, and it looks like it's standing up. So I will come over here. I will select it first so that it's highlighted, and then I'm going to come over here to rotate, and I'm going to rotate it so that it's laying down flat, 90 degrees. Okay, and then great. Now I'll select it again, and this time I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to multiply selected. So I want another one of those, and it says how many copies would you like to make, and I just want to make one additional copy, so I'll say OK. And there we have it. You can go back to the move and move things around on the X, Y, Z coordinates like this by clicking and dragging the arrows. Now you want them to be close together if possible, but not overlapping. And I've got plenty of room on this build plate, so I'll go ahead and add some more models. I've done the front wheel. Let's do the axle. Do a couple of axles. And it does place it close. That's great. I'll right click and multiply and make a copy. Oops, got the wrong one. Control Z is undo. Now I can select it and multiply. There we've got two axles. And I'm just going to leave it as this for now. Well, I might as well do all my parts just to get an estimate for how long it's going to take for all of them. Chassis. Places it next to it. Now look, on the chassis, do you see how there's some open space underneath these connectors? Okay, and under this fillet and inside of here. So anyway, anytime that you see red, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's red on the wheels and on the axles, and there's red on everything. That's going to be what's called an overhang, and you're going to need some support material. So this is a great time to go over here to this button here, this one big button, and we're going to change the quality. If yours says standard quality, I like to make it low quality. It makes it go faster, and we're not so worried about it being perfect. I want to go my infill. So this is where you can change your infill percentage, which is infill density, which is how much of the inside of your model is hollow versus solid. And mine's 20% solid. If you wanted it to be sturdier and heavier, you could increase that. If you want it to be lighter and save material, you could decrease that, but I wouldn't go any less than 10%. 20 is going to be fine for now. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. The material we want to make sure is PLA, so 250. It's perfect. That's the degrees of temp printing. Speed we won't mess with. You can make it faster if you wanted to, but that increases the chances of it crashing, so we're not going to mess with it. I'm going to go down here to support, and I'm going to expand my support category, and I do want to generate support. So do make sure that it's checked. Support structure, normal is going to be fine for this model. Okay, and I wouldn't so much worry about these other things. So we're almost done. The last thing is the adhesion. Since these are pretty small parts, we might want to consider adding some adhesion to the build plate. And a raft is a good way to do that, and a brim is probably even a better way to do that. So we'll just select brim, and I'm not sure what a smart brim is, so we're just going to leave that, and we're going to get ready to print. Okay. So once we've got all of our parts, I realize that I have more, but for now I'm just going to click slice. And I do want to take a screenshot of this. I want to take a screenshot of this that shows how long it's going to take, and also it shows the amount of material that I'm using, which is not a requisite in this. It's not a criteria in here, but it's good to know. But I do need to know that it's 3 hours and 49 minutes so that I can add that into my final criteria and constraints. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to go get the SD card off the printer. Now at this stage, this is when we're going to go get the SD card out of the printer. So if you'll just follow me, I'm going to go back here to my 3D printers. And I'm going to find one that's not currently printing. This one here is printing right now. And you can see this one is blank and clear, and it's not printing. So I'll go ahead and grab the SD card out. I'm going to do that right here by clicking in on the SD card. Press in, and it clicks and ejects. Now I'll just remove that card. And you can see that it goes in with the golden, the brass-colored pads up. Okay, so while we're here, this is what we're going to put in our PC. But since there's no direct slot for that, we got to grab one of these in this little blue tub here. Got to grab one of these SD card readers. So now I'm going to take that back to my PC. Over here. I'm going to try to do this one-handed.
Oh.
Appreciate it. So we're going to put the SD card in with the blue side matching the label here, like that. And then we're going to come on over and put that in. Label side up on your PC. Maybe.
Bunk, sorry.
And now we should see the option to save to removable drive. So that's what you want to do. Attach it. I'm going to insert it into my computer using one of those little white USB adapters, and then I'm going to save it. So I've got my card in the computer, the PC, right now, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Save to Removable Drive D. When I do that, it tells you that it's saved there, and it's saved as CE3E3V2 front wheel. So I probably want to actually change that. So I'll click on this little pencil and paper down here by the name, and I'm going to call it Bell 2 Bridges. So now that's a good name. Okay, and then I'll save it once again. So now it's called 2 Bridges. And once it's saved the appropriate way, we'll click eject. You do want to do that before you take it out of your PC. Now we can just remove the SD card, and we can go put that in the printer with the gold side up. That'll be up. All right, good luck. Thanks for watching.